Oh no.
Hello.
Are we live?
We're
Hello.
live.
Are we being heard? I wish to be heard.
I can hear us.
It's working? Are we
Cool,
coming
cool,
through
cool.
the
I
stream there?
muted the echo.
Excellent. Confirmation that we
Hell
are
yeah.
audible.
Audio test. Test
In
1, 2.
that case, I shall begin. Hello, internet friends and webcomic fans. It is I, your friendly neighborhood dungeon biologist, once again welcoming you to another episode of the Trash Heroes, the D&D stream where we recount the epic adventures of a wildly improbable collection of horrible creatures known as the Trash Heroes. Our players, as usual, are a collection of talented internet cartoonists and artists. Please do feel free to check out all of their work at the links that you can see in the upper right of your screen. There are various social medias for at least the time being, while social media still is a thing and hasn't fully exploded. Also, lots of Patreon links. Please do support your local artists. There is also a Patreon link in the description below for the stream itself. Please feel free to support us. Also, links are there to join us in the Discord, where you can panic, I guess. Panic in the Discord is a thing I've heard. So without further ado, let us meet the characters. First up, Keeper of the Vermin, Protector of the Trash Heap, it's Fetid Quaggle.
Me, hi.
Next up, the larger-than-life pit-fighting superstar, Ugna Sugar Tusks.
It's Aboleth slaying time.
And
least
next
last
there
round.
is the... Oh, we'll see. We'll see how many, whether slaying
We'll see
occurs.
if I die.
Someone's getting slayed. Next, we have the trickster, cleric, rogue, baker, and all-around party animal that is Tromlin Dariols.
Who's asleep?
He's busy sleeping it off, as
Little
they
sleepy
say.
guy.
Hey,
And
it
then
was,
there
it was
is...
good sex.
It's true.
It's worth it.
And then there is the wild magic streaming sensation, Morgan the Satyr.
Much closer than I appear.
And finally,
Streaming
our
live
sweet
from
old
the
grandpa.
car.
And finally, our sweet old grandpa, who is also accidentally an ancient warlock, Copernicus Sunshine.
I always dreamed I'd encounter an Aboleth. I just thought it would be significantly more sexual.
Not too late.
It's true.
Never
It's
too
true.
late.
I will not say the awful thing I just thought.
Oh no. Okay, when we last left our heroes, oh my goodness, we left in mid-combat. Where are we here? Where's my recap? Okay, so we the party left the dark city of Dwimmerdell, traveling by ship on the invitation of Ugna's Loxodon pit fighter buddy Kangar the Strangler. The ship was a Loxodon merchant vessel known as the Ivory Rose, run by a merchant captain named Osg Ulf. After a day and a night of partying with Kangar and his pit fighter entourage, the party awoke to word from the masthead of a ship in the distance. And upon a closer inspection, Copernicus and Morgan noted from up in the rigging that this ship was foundering. It was a smuggler's vesicle. Vesicle? Sorry, I'm a biologist.
Too much
It was
science.
a smuggler's vessel. It was busy exocytosing some neurotransmitters. No, it was a smuggler's vessel with only a single mast standing, scraps of sails, but their old friend, the merchant Sir Godfrey Franklin Tusk IV, was aboard. The Ivory Rose rescued the survivors and learned that they had been attacked in the night by an unseen monster with huge tentacles that had torn down the masts and rigging while an eerie music was playing, and several of the crew had thrown themselves overboard. Captain Ulf negotiated with the dwarf Captain Broadbeard to effect some repairs and send him with a few of Ulf's crew back up the Firth towards Dwimmerdell, and took on the cargo and passengers, including Sir Godfrey and his servants. The party, minus Tromlin, who was still cursed in fairy slumber thanks to a sexually transmitted curse, or STC.
That could
you
have
gotta
been worse.
use protection, everybody. Counterspell. The group chatted with Sir Godfrey, and he filled in on some news since they had last seen one another in Ravenfall. Morgan, learning about the last time you guys were in Ravenfall, decided to push forward with planning to set up a big match between Kangar and Ugna upon your arrival, and so has purchased some sending stones from Sir Godfrey. There was an epic negotiation scene, very exciting, resulting in both of you feeling that you got the better deal. And Fetid sent a stone on to Morgan's contact in Ravenfall. So you two have been in contact since. But then at dusk, there was another shout from the masthead, and disturbance in the water led to a sudden attack from a group of Sahuagin and their various pet sharks, throwing spears and grapnels and dragging crew off the ship. Some of the crew and pit fighters were dragged to their deaths. But the boarding attempt was thwarted by Kangar and Ugna, and Copernicus summoning the demon Flokwaban, who is still in the water, drawing aggro from all of these Sahuagin and their shark buddies. But then suddenly the ship came to an abrupt stop because the helmsman, who was mind controlled and had heeled the ship over, and then apparently the rudder was cut away from its ropes. Fetid has webbed the helmsman with a web spell, which he is still concentrating on, and has run below decks because he heard the sounds of axes chopping. And meanwhile, yeah, and a huge tentacled monster has risen out of the water and assaulted the port side. It is an Aboleth, and it is not just any Aboleth, it's a gigantic Aboleth. Copernicus has attempted to distract it with spells, casting Enemies Abound on it, which you are still concentrating on. But it was already climbing the side of the ship where Morgan cast a Storm Sphere, which is also being concentrated on, so that's still in play. And Ugna unleashed a devastating series of blows upon it. What did you do, like 90 damage? It was insane.
Yeah, something like that. I
crazy.
rode a javelin straight into its face.
Utterly preposterous.
Meanwhile, Sir Godfrey joined Fetid below's decks, hoping to fix the ship, and you have discovered that the saboteurs were none other than Sir Godfrey's own mind-controlled servants, Timothy and Timothy, who are happily chopping with axes at the bottom of the ship's hold.
Isn't Sir Godfrey not angry but just disappointed?
Yep.
Yes, he said as much. And we begin the game at the top of a round with the Aboleth.
Oh boy.
Uh-oh.
I am
Good.
out of all of
Cool.
the things. Except for hit points. I still get hit points.
Well, it's about to take some of those from you.
That makes sense.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
it is time for
I did just stab it in the eye over and over again.
3 multi-attack tentacle attacks.
I need help recollecting. Have I used
Yep.
my... Yeah, okay.
Oh, and he's still under the effects of Enemies Abound, so he's supposed to
Yes.
target randomly.
Yes.
I spent a hero point on it, so I'm gonna stand
That's
up for
fair.
the people's rights, the players' rights on this one.
Nice.
Okay, I'm gonna roll. He has only one major enemy in his immediate view, but there are other people on the ship, so I'm gonna 50-50 it, whether he goes for Ugna or whether he tries to go after a randomly determined crew member. Yeah, I think you and the others are far enough away from him that you wouldn't be in that mix.
Sorry, crew members.
He
Is
is indeed
Kangar
going after Ugna.
Nearby too?
Sorry?
I think Kangar ran up with me as well.
Not
there's-
yet, he has not.
Oh, okay. He's still
took
he's
his last
lower in the
attack to-
initiative.
Yeah, he took his last attack to stop one of the Sahuagin from dragging the captain off the ship.
That's a good use of a turn.
And I also wanted to point out, as I did oh, that's the boys. I was like, what's
Yes.
that noise? That is
Squeaky.
some birdies, some squeaky birds. So I did mention at the end of last stream, but I'll mention it again that the chat chose the target of the mind control from afar.
It is a
and
very good and funny choice. I approve.
They chose Sir Godfrey's servants. The other options were the ship's captain, which also would have been bad.
Yes.
And I actually forget who the
I would
third
argue
choice
that would have
was.
been worse.
Quite possible.
Oh, Kangar was the third choice, which also would have been bad. Okay, so we have 3 attacks, multi-attack on Ugna. 1 is a natural 1, so that misses, but the other 2 are hits.
This is the other half
Okay.
of being a tank. Taking the
Indeed.
damage.
All right, 2d6 plus 5, and you've got to make the mucus DC 14 con save for each of those 2 hits.
Alright, let me roll 2 of these guys. Oh yeah, no, I'm good. I rolled a 12 and an
Both
18,
saves?
and I've got a +6 constitution, so I'm
Oh yeah,
good.
I know con is a big one for you, so
Yeah.
no problems. Okay, so that is a total of 26 damage.
Cool, cool, cool.
Is also going to pull out the legendary tail swipe. Might as well throw it now. Because it's technically used on someone else's turn, but doesn't help, doesn't hurt. 13 plus 9 will hit you. 3d6 plus 5 additional bludgeoning damage as he whips you with the tail.
Alright.
This one does not require the save, I think. Just double checking. Yeah,
It's the tail. Okay.
it does not. That is another 15 damage.
Woo! Spicy. I'm still up.
Okay. And he is going to use his remaining legendary actions to suck another 10. Sorry, 3d6. Just going to roll it. Some more hit points are returned to him as he drains his Timothy and Tomothy further.
Ooh, right.
They continue
forgot
to
that was
bleed from
happening.
the eyes and ears.
Right.
Oh, poor little trash boys.
Yep. They are still up, despite 3 rounds of this. I've been treating them as a single unit, which is
They're
clearly how
basically
they
one.
work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But as such, it kind of means that they have more hit points than they appear to, because I'm splitting it between them. And then finally, the Aboleth is going to use its movement, and it is going to disengage from you,
Ooh.
Ugna. You do get an attack of opportunity, because it's
All right.
not using a full action to disengage.
Cool. Let's do that.
So make an attack roll. 17 AC.
Well, I rolled a 17, so I'm guessing
Oh.
I hit.
Then you hit. That's how Dungeons and Dragons works,
There we
everybody.
go.
It's so simple.
Man.
I've got. I don't remember what we said. The javelin. Or not the
it's,
javelin.
it's-
It's the.
Yeah, it's 1d8 because you're using it two-handed.
Okay, gotcha. Sweet. And I
Sorry,
don't
no,
have
you
any
weren't
juice left
using
to
it
put on
two-handed. You
No,
weren't
'cause I've
using it
got my short
two-handed, you
sword.
switched. Yeah, it's a d6.
Okay. It's a harpoon.
Plus your strength bonus, of course.
Yeah. That's not great. It's only a 2 plus my strength bonus.
So 7.
Yeah. Oh wait, sorry, that was
Okay.
yeah, 7 damage.
Okay. You stab at it as it slips from the side of the boat and back into the water and starts to move away. I believe it takes damage from your storm sphere on its turn. Is that correct, Morgan?
Yeah.
I can look it up real quick.
I know I
Just to
get
double
a
check.
bonus action attack on it, but
Yeah, but that's on your turn. On its, yes, anytime it's ends its turn within the sphere. Yeah, I'm going to consider it because it's considered difficult terrain. Even though it's got to swim away, I'm going to give it a pass through damage. And it's a strength saving throw.
yeah.
Oh,
Or
that's a terrible
2d6.
roll.
Oh.
It has rolled a 2. I'm pretty sure even with
Ooh.
its bonus.
All right. The dice chest.
Yeah, it's
Get
got a plus
wrecked,
5,
fish
but
boy.
that won't do it. So that is 2d6 more damage. Please roll that.
Get with these cuties.
Nice.
That's only 4.
Okay. Still hurting pretty good. And that is the Aboleth's turn as it moves downwards into the sea and slips beneath the waves. Next up is Flockwabon, who is going to continue to... Oh, sorry, no. That's not Flockwabon. Fetid. Wrong F.
Fetid. Okay,
Fetid is
so
next.
I'm down there with...
You're down in the hold.
me and
You can
Tommy.
see Timothy and Tomothy with they've got like swirlies for eyes or something. I don't know. Not really. It's not supposed to be visible, but it's kind of obvious. They're like bleeding from the eyes and ears
Yeah.
as they take psychic damage, and they are just like mechanically chopping a hole in the bottom of the boat. You can already see water is hissing through some seams and starting
Uh-huh.
to pool in the bilge.
Okay, I would like to.
And Sir
So if I
Godfrey
want
has
to
just come down and joined you.
if I want to maintain the web, I can't do another one, correct?
You can cast a spell as long as it's not a concentration spell.
Right. Okay. Um,
I should open everyone's character sheets because I usually have them open.
let me see.
You don't need to know our stats. That's fine.
Yeah, why are you asking?
No reason. One of those terrible things to hear a game master say.
Let me see.
Fetid. So, your summon animal, for example, is a concentration spell.
Right. Yeah.
Um, but like your hunter's mark
Mm-hmm.
is. Oh, sorry, hunter's mark is, but you can concentrate on 2 spells at once
Oh, can I? Okay.
because you
Cool.
have multitask, which I gave you specifically for that reason because hunter's
Yeah.
mark is kind of a standard thing.
Right. Right. Does that mean I can do 2 webs?
You could drop your hunter's mark and do a second web spell. Yes.
Yeah, I would like to do that. I want to try and restrain these 2 before they can do any more damage.
Very good. You may, in fact, do that. And they get a saving throw. I'm just pulling up exactly what saving throw they get. Pretty sure it's a dex save.
That sounds right.
Yes, dexterity saving throw. And if they fail, they are restrained until they break free or you end the web.
Mhm.
So I'm going to roll 2 identical dice. Oh, good God. Okay, a 4 and a 1. They both failed.
Nice.
Good.
Yeah, so they are like you bodily lift them from the ground with this spray. Your insect swarm around you shoots out like tiny, microscopic almost threads of silk from some of the various bugs, and they coalesce into this like massive web that lifts Timothy and Tomothy bodily from the ground and sticks them to the wall like 2 feet off the ground. Thump. All Spider-Man style. There's a little note on them that says, "From your friendly neighborhood, trash dragon." I don't know, something like that. Excellent. And that is you, unless you want to move anywhere or do anything else
I don't
non-action
think
related.
so. I'd like to approach them because they might need some wound healing, given all the eye bleeding and psychic damage. But
Yeah, you know what? I will let you, with a bonus action, try and assess how they're looking with a medicine roll, which I
yeah,
don't
let me
think you're
do
great at, but you got a +4.
that. Better than nothing. That would be a 9.
Yeah, you're not sure. They are both bloodied,
Mm-hmm.
so you know they're like
Okay, so
beyond
yeah,
sort of half hit
probably
points.
need some healing.
Okay, next up is Morgan.
Right. I'm going to lightning the
The Aboleth.
dude
So,
as a bonus action, and I think
yep.
maybe uh
Go ahead
an
and make
action
the.
of lightning.
Well, go ahead and make your attack roll first for the bonus action because he is going underwater. So
Okay.
make the attack roll with disadvantage. I'm going to give him the equivalent of cover as he disappears beneath the waves.
Okay. What are my resources? I guess it's my bonus action, so I won't use it for that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a fucking 1. Okay.
Okay. Well, that definitely misses.
And then I will do a lightning bolt. I think is best option. Yeah, because I cannot have an entangle as well. Maybe I actually want to move him. So he's
Yeah,
not
I
in the
would.
water.
He seems to be trying to get away. So,
I-
trying
Let me see
to
if there's a size
move or
limit.
capture or something.
I have vortex warp.
My favorite technical death metal band.
Con saving throw. Teleported to unoccupied space of my choice. I don't see a size limit.
Nope,
so
it
I
just
think
says
that's what
another
I will
creature.
do.
That seems very exploitable in a fun
Yeah,
way.
that really does.
I think I will use that. I'm probably going to silvery barbs him if he tries me. But I also want to
Oh, you mean if he
Not
makes
fuck
his
with
saving throw?
Morgan.
if he makes his saving throw. But I'm just making sure that I don't have other silly fun things that I can do before the roll happens.
Yeah, I imagine this is probably your best bet to keep him from escaping.
I love how like the Aboleth is attacked, which is normally like a situation where we're like run, run, and now he's trying to get away, and we're like, no, we didn't say this is over.
Yep.
Well, I will point out that Aboleths with their crazy telepathic attacks, for one thing, his ability to continue draining hit points from Timothy and Tomothy
It's not
would allow
great.
him to effectively heal himself, and as he murders
their
them and then come
expense.
back.
Yeah.
But not to mention the fact that you're in the same ocean. He might just like say, you know what, I get 3 mind controls a day. I'm going to wait till tomorrow.
I'm just checking my bend luck. Would that mean I could not use my silvery barbs?
I'm just pulling that up now. So you're thinking giving him a penalty. Does bend luck? Yes, bend luck. You only get 1 reaction, so it's
Okay.
either going to be bend luck or silvery barbs.
Okay. Morgan's going to unscrew the top of her her potion bottle that is her Starbucks cup, basically. The straw, when she reveals it, is actually going to be a blade, and she'll slice that along her tongue and slam it back down into the potion bottle, and that'll be regaining some
Yes.
sorcery points.
That's
And then
incredible.
she's gonna cast void warp or vortex
Okay.
warp. Sorry.
So you spend a hit die and gain 5 sorcery points back. Nice.
Hell yeah.
And then you're using the sorcery points to give you the extra spell slot, right?
Yeah.
Is the idea?
Yeah. Because
Everybody's into blood magic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just
Raise your hit
normal, I
points.
guess.
Bullshit.
Well, actually, you don't need to give yourself the extra spell slot. You still have a fair number of your 3rd level or your 2nd levels.
But I am lower on other stuff because I use.
Yeah, gotcha. And you want to use 2 for the bend luck.
Yeah, just in case. I think I'll reserve that for. I'll actually do.
Oh, you're not going to do the bend luck?
That is. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it for silvery barbs because silvery barbs forces a reroll, but then
Yep.
it'll also give a benefit, right? So.
Yep.
I'm gonna do that.
For those who are curious, bend luck would give him a straight up minus 1d4 to the saving throw.
Oh, cool.
Okay, so here we go. He is very good at Constitution saves. So let's
He's
see how
big.
this goes. It's his primary thing. I think his con save bonus is 6. So let's see how he does. What's your saving throw target?
My saving
17.
throw? Yeah.
17, so he needs an 11 or higher. A nat 1.
Oh,
Nice.
fuck yes.
Yeah.
time
Let me
for that
double check
roll.
Excellent.
Vortex War.
That's my 3rd
Excellent.
nat 1 already this game. This bodes well for you guys, not for
yeah.
me, but
What is the
Yeah, until the
distance?
distribution rebalances itself, then we're boned.
what's that, Raven?
Creature within range to
Okay, so he has to be within 90 feet.
within range.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he has to be within
so-
90 feet, and you can move him within 90 feet. But you're doing this just as so he moved through your storm sphere, so he's only moved about 20 feet
Mm-hmm.
down into the water, like off the
Yeah.
side of the boat and then down. So you can still hit him,
Yeah.
and you can put him in a lot of different places. Are you going to put him on deck, or are you going to put him? Where are you trying to put him?
Straight up in the air, baby. In a space above my storm sphere, so that when he falls back down, he's going into the storm sphere again.
Ooh.
No.
Ooh.
Okay,
You love to see it.
so you put him basically. That end up with him being like in the neighborhood of 80 feet above the water, or somewhere in between, as you choose.
And
Okay.
now we get to see the full extent of this awful creature
Yes. it
writhing
is-
above us.
It is a huge creature. It is not the normal size of an aboleth. It is larger.
It's wearing
Yeah,
one of those
Aboleth's-
shirts that's baggy but has like the print of a well-jacked man on the front.
Good.
Excellent.
He's a fan of a very particular battle bot.
That was Morgan. Next up is trying to figure
Actually,
out my notes.
No,
S.
hold on. I think I'm. Can I spend a hero point to lightning bolt it while it's in the air? Because I really want to.
Fully Mortal Kombat style.
I
Hit it with lightning bolt.
really. I wanna vortex warp, throw him in the air, and then lightning bolt that bitch while he's up there.
I
How
love
many
it.
hero
'Cause-
points do you have?
Just roast him.
I just have the one, but I think it's cool.
But you want to use it?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm down.
That seems
Alright,
worth
pretty
it to
damn
me.
cool.
If you want to use it, I will let you.
support this
I will
plan.
let you do that.
All right.
I will let you do that.
It is a saving throw, so my silvery barbs can still be held for that.
Yep.
It is not a. It's a dex actually.
Dex saving throw for him is what is his dex saving throw? Oh, his dex saving throw is awful. It's -1.
Nice.
He has failed.
Perfect.
I did not roll a 19 or 20, or an 18, 19 or 20, which is what I would have needed to.
All right. Let me get this cacophony of dice out.
He's gigantic, and therefore
It's 8d6.
you're just casting that straight at level 3 then, which
Yeah.
makes sense. Okay.
3, 4, 5. Oh. 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4.
Just getting everybody's sheets properly open.
Okay. 2 6s, 1 5, 3
17.
3s, a 2 and a 1.
26, 29 points of damage.
Nice.
Ow. That hurt.
You did.
Do not make Morgan mad.
That did some serious damage there. Okay, so like Morgan goes, "Oh no, you don't!" Casts a spell. You all see the magic streaming from Morgan's hand, and you all saw the whole like crazy blade across the tongue. I'm sure Copernicus is like, "Ooh, that's a good one." And zaps a spell, and there's a loud boom underwater as the space occupied by the Aboleth has to be like explosively refilled with ocean, and the Aboleth appears 80 feet above the surface of the water, starts to plummet, and then Morgan brings up the other hand, and there's a lightning bolt that flies from Morgan's body and zorches this thing in the air. It's sizzling, and it howls in anger. It does not seem to be. It's already been blooded, but it now seems to be quite furious about this. And you can all see the extent of its size. It's the length of the ship.
Yee.
Holy fuck.
It's huge.
Yikes.
Good. Great.
Love
We
it.
made him
Love
angry.
that for us.
Can I
Okay.
feel
I'm
for
glad I'm asleep.
an extra wild magic roll?
Actually, yeah, I think that's. I was gonna say.
Seems appropriate.
hmm
I was gonna say with.
I
the
mean,
hero
it could
point,
really
and
fuck
that would
us,
be
but
the
also
cost.
I want to see what happened.
Yep.
Okay, I'm rolling percentile on my new percentile dice that I grabbed for game. That's an interesting roll. Ooh. You and all creatures within 30 feet of you, which is nobody because you are up, floating up in the rigging. Or sorry, you're not flying, but you were up in the rigging. You were up on the tops.
Oh yeah, I had to get up there to yell at Copernicus.
Yeah. So you're up in the rigging, so maybe one or two random crew members might be up near there as well. But you are now vulnerable to piercing damage. You take double damage from piercing attacks.
All right.
For the next full minute, which is the rest of the combat.
Nobody gets stabbed.
Yep. Okay, so
that
next is
I
the shark
daggered myself
people.
before that.
Yep, next is the shark people.
Oh, that's what
I
the S
forgot
stands
about
for.
the shark people.
Yep.
Damn it.
The Sahuagin, and their various sharks. So at this point, there is an unearthly, terrifying, blood-curdling howl from the demon Flockwabon as he vorps out of existence,
Oops.
having taken several rounds worth of damage from most of the surviving sharks in Sahuagin. So they finish him off this round. There is also going to be two Sahuagin continuing to throw their spears and grapnels at random people and trying to drag them into the water. I'm going to actually, this kind of really matters now who I'm randomizing against. So Copernicus is flying up in the air and out of their range. So only player characters here in any kind of danger are Ugna and Morgan, and then obviously Kangar, the captain, and then random people. So I'm going to basically break that down into a D10 where it's the first four and then everybody else is random. Okay, so in order on my D10, it's Ugna, Kangar, or Ugna, Morgan, Kangar, ship's captain, and then random members of the crew. Ugna.
All right.
That's a hit. You're being hit by a grapnel.
Ooh.
So you take 4 damage,
Okay, I can do that.
but you need to make a strength save as they are trying to pull you off the ship and into the water.
All right. I am spending a inspiration on that because I rolled a 3.
Yep.
I'm just
Go for
checking
it.
if I still have one.
Oh, you guys bought a bunch of them last time, aren't you?
Yeah,
Pegs?
thank
4?
you, everybody.
And for
I
that,
need it.
at that, I'd like to remind the chat that you can always use bits to cheer for our players, and whenever the bit counter rolls over 100%, everybody gets another inspiration.
I did an 11, but I have a +8, and I hope that's enough.
That is sufficient.
Okay, good.
You go, whoa,
Nope.
plant your feet, grab the rope, and yank on it.
Do not want to wind up in the shark tank with only 21 hit points.
There are a lot less sharks in the shark tank at this stage, but they are still there.
I mean, it doesn't really. If there's one, there's enough to be a problem.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even for Ugna.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, next up are the crew, and they are continuing to attack the Sahuagin that they can see. But also, now that there's this like giant monster kind of really obviously hovering in the air and falling and plummeting past, that's a good chance to like take some pot shots at it. So that's a thing that happens that I won't tell you about till later. And then I am going to roll a couple of random attacks on the plummeting Sahuagin and see if anybody hits it. That is 2 random ranged weapon attack hits for 1d6 plus 1 each. I'll throw my dice on the floor. It's actually pretty damn good. 11 damage. Okay. And other members of the crew are busily trying to get sails reset and undo the sabotage that's been done to the ship, including the captain, who's basically directing all of that. Next up is oh gee, is Sir Godfrey. Sir Godfrey downstairs
Oh, good.
is going to look look approvingly at you, Fetid.
Nice.
Thankful that you had just done this for him. And he says, come on now, boys. This sort of thing isn't cricket. Be a loxodon, not a loxodon't.
Oh God.
And he
No.
my God.
casts
No.
calm emotions. Calm emotions to break a charm.
Ooh.
I'm glad he has that, because I had no idea what I was going to do about those two next.
So it is. You also will have to make a saving throw here, Fetid, because it's a radius.
Okay.
But all it does is suppress any effect causing charm or frightened.
Okay. Well, I rolled a
it's not-
17, so I probably pass whatever I need to pass.
You are not affected. Okay. One of the boys has made his saving throw. The other has failed.
Oh no.
I am going to have the one who made it rolled a nat 20, but I am going to have Sir Godfrey do a. Oh, I don't have his sheet open. Why didn't I open Sir Godfrey's sheet? I'm going to have him potentially spend his.
Guess hero point.
Well, he doesn't have a hero point, but I'm
Yeah.
basically going to have him spend all of his. I'm just double checking if he has any kind of thing that gooses his effects, because he has a bunch of interesting stuff that he can do. Don't think so though. Not for penalizing saving throws. So he's going to spend inspirations to reduce or to cause a reroll, which is failed. So Timothy and Tomothy have both failed their saving throws and are being suppressed. They are currently not being charmed, although it will resume afterwards. All right. And that's it for Sir Godfrey's turn, but he will note, he'll say something along the lines of, Fetid, friend Fetid, where is your sleeping friend? If you bring him,
friend.
if
Oh
you- if
yeah,
you bring him out. I could break his curse.
could probably wake him up.
Harumph, harumph,
Might be
harumph.
good to have him around right now.
And next up is Flockwabon, but he is now gone.
Block were gone.
Dun, 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 dun.
Excellent.
Oh my God.
Ugna.
Okay. Ow. First of all.
I think I missed my turn.
No, you're
Oh, yeah.
next.
Oh, okay, sorry. I thought you
Oh,
were
that's
doing
right.
top round.
I wasn't last.
No, Ugna was the last, or no, Ugna was the
Oh.
second last. Copernicus was the last.
Right.
Copernicus has a 5 initiative. Ugna also has a 5, but a better initiative bonus.
The Aboleth is still plummeting, correct?
Yes, but you can leap and attack. You have boots of
Oh yeah, that's
extreme
right. Oh hell.
jumpage. If you
It's
want
a
to do
full
it.
action to disengage, right?
Yes.
So I could jump over there, make an attack, and then disengage. In a
That
single
is-
round?
No, sorry. Disengage is an action.
Oh, right, and I do not have that.
You have the ability to attack, right? You don't
Right,
have a
yeah.
second action.
Yeah.
You're not going to attack. Yeah. Disengage is your whole action. This is why it's so valuable to have the rogue thing of disengaging as a
Yes,
freebie,
super is.
as a bonus action, which is Traumon can do.
I'm going to hold my turn, hold my action, until after Copernicus goes.
Okay.
As I like heft the
Then-
harpoon and sort of like,
You've got both your weapons. You're seeing the thing plummeting.
Yep.
You're waiting to decide what to do.
yep.
Copernicus, you're flying up in the air near this thing. What do you want to do? I believe you are out of spell slots, but you've got all your other tricks. And,
Yeah. So I have two questions for you. One
Yes.
is there anything on my sort of Gesh list with Barb involving an Aboleth, just out of curiosity?
I will say yes, but not something that that can be spoken of on stream, and probably not something that you're in the in the current sort of ability to pursue.
Got it. Okay. So then
You got off on the
we'll-
wrong foot.
Yeah. Okay. Then what I
They got all
think
those
the other
tentacles.
question- Yeah. The other question I was going to ask is, would chill touch, which prevents the target from healing, prevent the mind drain type of healing, or is it a different kind of class of healing?
Just gonna quickly look.
Yeah, as written. On a hit,
Chill
the target
touch.
takes 1d8 necrotic damage and can't regain hit points until the start of your next turn.
Then that would indeed prevent it.
And I think I'm gonna catch me a big fish.
Ho, ho,
So,
ho.
The
how
biggest
far
fish.
away is
Manifest that hook.
the Aboleth from me right now?
You're good because it's gonna pass by you as it falls. Like you can basically be at any range you would like to be
Sweet.
when
And-
at the time that you do this attack.
And do I have the sense from the way that the party is maneuvering that it would be helpful if it was like closer or further from us, or like I can try to move it basically with my blood magic, but would that be helpful if I like repelled it 10 feet or pulled it 10 feet towards us?
If you pull it 10 feet towards you, it might actually land on the boat, and that would have been like an easy way to
sounds
make
bad.
it sure that you could attack it. But now that you've seen the full size of it,
Yeah,
that seems like a bad idea.
that's a bad thing. Okay,
So
Then-
probably not.
okay, then I think I'll just go for I think I may as well go for agonizing.
Just extra damage.
Yeah, and I think we agreed last session that the extra damage did not cause me to take a concentration check because I'm inflicting it and I can
Correct.
anticipate it. Okay, sweet. Then I'll do a distracting intrusion first to up my chances, and then I'll do that chill touch.
Oh yeah, because it might fail the saving throw.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
Please. So he should make a DC 15 Wisdom save, please.
That has succeeded.
All right. Well then, let's try.
No,
and
it
hit. Ah,
Okay.
yeah.
Silvery barbs.
Silvery
Silvery
barbs.
Bobs.
Is this a wisdom save?
Love that silvery barbs.
Failed.
Yes!
Hell yes.
Oh yeah.
Hell
Total
yes.
13.
Ugna, you're getting it. You're
Oh,
getting
thank
that
you.
boner.
Good, good. Depends on what crazy shit I'm gonna do next. If I might need it.
Well, so that little maneuver just gave it disadvantage on all saving throws and attacks, as its mind is busily being filled with the horrors of Copernicus's mind.
I'm telling it exactly what Barb and I had talked about.
Did you know that we had a bucket list that involved one of your kind, and here are the things we wanted to do to. I mean, with
You know the
Big
term
D's
chum
mighty
bucket?
fisting.
Remove the H.
and for all of Barb and Copernicus's depravity, always consent-based. All of the acts
yes.
that would involve this. So this is.
I have this
very much
image
okay.
of an Aboleth at a bar, and the bartender like, that couple over there bought you a drink, and it's just Copernicus in a bucket.
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
We hear that you're an Aboleth, but we're hoping you're also a unicorn.
Oh no!
Not the unicorn hunters.
Oh, good.
oh god. All right, I'm making a charisma save for this Aboleth. Do you
Does it fail?
successfully
Does it throw
seduce the
both
Aboleth?
Are you saying that we could
No, I'm
save him? It's a lot
No,
of red
I'm
flags.
kidding.
That's all I'm
This-
saying.
this-
That's all I'm saying.
This is definitely the wrong foot for this scenario.
All right.
I hate that I have a
And-
story that goes with this, but I'm not telling it right now.
Oh man.
like
Okay,
your
so
vibe.
yeah, the horrified Aboleth is now at disadvantage. So you are now using your agonizing attack. Make your hit roll, please.
Yeah. It's a hit. I'm pretty
Woo.
sure anyway.
17?
24.
Oh, yeah.
17 on the die.
17 is the armor class, so you are very much hitting.
All right.
Okay.
So he's taking some
Roll your
damage, and
damage.
he cannot heal, and he should make a with disadvantage. He should make a con save.
What was the damage, sorry?
I haven't rolled it yet.
Okay. Remember to add 4 from the agonizing attack.
So that's 15, 19. Sorry, 20
Wow.
damage.
20 damage.
20 necrotic.
Woo!
Love to see it.
And then he needs to make that DC 15 con save with disadvantage.
Okay, first roll made it, but I have to roll again because of disadvantage. Con save, he's actually very good at that. I'm afraid he has made it.
Rats. Well, he
He's
still
not
can't.
stunned.
I think he still cannot heal though.
No, that's correct. He can't
Literally
heal.
clutch.
Yeah. So Copernicus waves his wand, and the bony hand shaped with the fingers crooked as like a fish hook with barbs on it, goes flying out and embeds itself in the Aboleth, causing it to arch its back in pain, and it shrieks a horrible otherworldly shriek. Ugna, you were holding your attack, and this is the end of the round, so
Yeah.
use it now. It doesn't look good, and it just took a lightning bolt and a chill touch.
The smart thing to do is just to huck the harpoon at it and try to whaler this. But the really badass thing to do is to use my boots to run up the mast and then push off, jump straight for its heart.
I think you know what you must do.
I think I do know what I must do.
All right, make me an athletics
The
roll.
thing is, that is. Oh, I'm fine. 23. I was like, I'm
Yep.
gonna roll a 12. What's my athletics? Oh yeah, it's all of the things.
No worries.
Yeah.
You
No.
run up the mast. You
Yeah.
kick off. You run up the mast to
Just straight, like
the fighting top.
yeah.
Grab the edge of the fighting top and flip yourself out in a somersault, backward somersault,
Yeah.
flipping off from the mast.
Oh no, I don't even
as
need to
it
get all the way up
plummets.
there. I can just run vertically up the side with my sticky
that's
boots, and then
Yeah, you're not
kick
even doing
off
kick
like a
Wily
frog,
Coyote style.
twist in midair,
So-
and come down with the javelin at this thing's heart.
You run straight up the mast and then up the underside of the fighting top to
Yes.
the edge of it, kick off, turning in midair and like basically tackling it with like the weapons first, javelin in one hand, short sword in the other, and stab yourself into a tackle. Go ahead and make those attack rolls.
Yep.
And don't forget that you have advantage
Yep.
on just
Oh,
one
hell.
roll.
I think it's just the first roll.
I'm just double checking.
That's important.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, it's basically either the first roll or just the whole attack.
Yeah.
On the next roll, yeah.
Okay, so this. I'm rolling 2 dice for this one. 18 will do it.
Yep.
And I'm only
And go
rolling
ahead and
a
roll
D8.
the second attack. Roll
Yeah,
the
I'll roll the
second
second
attack,
attack.
just while you're at it.
That would be a 13 plus 8.
Yep.
All
That
right.
would be to 17.
Alrighty. Well, let's roll this a couple times.
Damage, please. Now you are out of maneuvers, right?
I am, yeah, so I'm just rolling
Okay,
straight.
So just roll straight up.
So that's a
damage on the two
6
attacks.
plus 5 on the first one, and 5 plus 5 on the second one. So 11 and 10.
So 21.
21.
And now roll your second attack because that's
Yep.
that's your one attack. That's your main hand and a bonus
Yep.
action for your offhand. So your second
And now
attack.
it's my main
still
attack.
counts. Yeah. Your second attack for your main hand.
12 plus 8, sufficient?
20. Yep, that
20?
beats 17.
Alright, dirty 20.
Roll your damage. So we've got
Alright.
21 plus.
That's a 7 on a D8. 7 plus 5, 13.
So
7 and
34
5.
damage. All right. So you stab your way into a bear hug on this thing around the middle of its gigantic body. And then you and it together plummet down through the storm sphere. So please roll me a strength saving throw as you pass through the storm sphere.
Mm-hmm.
And you've used my silver barbs, right? Or not?
Oh no,
Yes.
that's a nat 1.
Okay, so you take
I did
take
what I
another
could.
6 damage.
Ooh, boy.
Sorry, 8 damage. Math.
I got 13 left.
Good thing your healer's coming back, huh?
Mm-hmm.
And then
Missed you,
kasploosh,
buddy.
you and the Aboleth just like plummet into the water, and you are beneath the waves with this Aboleth. Top of the round. So the Aboleth goes first,
That's not good.
and I'm not going to say what happens
No.
yet. I'm going to leave that hanging.
Yep.
Next, down below,
Oh.
the boys, Timothy and Tomothy's faces kind of clear up. And they look terrified at you
Poor
as
boys.
they are held by your webbing.
That's why you don't chop holes in boats.
What do you want to do?
Me? Well, if they're out of, if they're no longer out of it, I want to go with Sir Godfrey and try to wake up Tromlin.
Hey,
Nice.
so you can tell Sir Godfrey where Tromlin is because you know which cabin
Yeah.
he's in, and you could still do a healing spell on the boys.
Yeah, I want to heal them up.
because they are looking pretty bad.
Yeah.
Okay. So give me a hit point number. I'm just going to continue to treat them as one unit and split it between them.
What do I roll for that? It's a D4, D6.
No, I believe it's D8s,
Oh,
and if you
D8.
cast it at a higher level, I think it's 2D8.
I think I'll just do 1d8 in case I need more spells for later. Alright. That's a good roll.
1D8 plus 4 your spell casting.
Right. So that's 11 hit points for the boys.
Nice. Okay. And Morgan, you're up next.
Oh yeah, baby. All right. I'm going to use my boots of jumping to
These boots
jump
were
down,
made for jumping.
and do our time-honored traditional move, OCM, Alina, and
Excellent.
just gonna wrap my luscious thick thighs
Oh,
around Una's head.
No,
if I
you're
don't
not-
have them, if I don't have the movement, I do have Misty Step.
Yeah, you could do more. Well, I'm going to remind you that there are still a bunch of shark people
In the water.
in the water on the other side of the boat from Ugna.
Uh-huh.
So they're not going to be in range of that, but they will be dangers to Ugna very shortly. And they are still trying to haul people off the deck with their grapnels. So they're still actively attacking the crew. But then in addition, if you jump down to where Ugna is, that's going to, like, the big thing that your boots do is feather fall. So I just don't know that you're going to be able to get down there in the time frame. I guess Misty Step might be able to make that function.
Well, I was gonna jump and then use Misty Step to close gap.
As you like dive off the
and-
tops.
Yeah, and then I was going to thunder step us away as my way of attacking the.
Yeah, you know what? Sure. I think with the Misty Step, I can make me an athletics roll first. You're basically going to shut off your feather fall and use your boots of jumping to just do a really like full movement leap straight down, basically towards the water, so that you can get close enough to pull this off. So just make me an athletics check.
Oh, I almost fell off the desk. That's 11.
Total, or is that just the roll?
11 on the dice. On the dice, it's 11.
And you've got a plus. Actually, acrobatics is appropriate here, so plus 7.
Nice.
So you basically jump out and do like a graceful dive, like make your body into the torpedo shape to like maximize your distance down. And then when you would basically be nearing the edge of the boat or the water, it's not clear that you're going to clear the rail, but then poof, you disappear and Misty Step with your bonus action onto Ugna and the Aboleth as they're plowing into the water. And then you can go ahead and make your.
Nice.
Actually, is there a roll for Thunder Step? I don't think there is.
Nope. 10
Just
feet of
saving
space.
throws for the targets, right?
Yeah. 3d10 saving. And that is a con.
Yeah. And you're taking Ugna with you, so
Yep.
Ugna
Thank
doesn't
you.
have to make that.
Thank you.
So just the Aboleth
Getting,
is
Deck
making
damage.
its saving throw, but it'll take half damage. But the damage, are you casting this? Are you going to goose this up with your points that you got back and make it a 4th level?
oh yeah, let me see. That
So
gives
4d10
me-
damage.
And disadvantage on the saving throw, please.
That is
Oh yeah,
a
because it's not your
9.
next turn yet.
Oh, a 9, an 8, a 3, and a 1.
So that's a failed saving throw.
Nice.
That's 21 damage.
Ooh.
Okay, so Morgan does this. Morgan, you all see Morgan plummeting like a torpedo towards the water, disappear, poof, in midair, hit the water. There's an earth-shattering kaboom. And I don't know how many of you have ever heard the story of on the Pacific Northwest
Oh God, the
when
whale.
there was a beached whale.
Oh
and
yeah.
The city decided to try and get rid of it
With
using
dynamite.
Uh-huh.
because that happens.
What could possibly go wrong?
Oh, the
So-
70s.
The boat, the entire boat does like a massive like shift in the water to the side. Fetid, Timothy and Sir Godfrey down below all see like a number of seams open up and water starts spraying from several points in the side of the boat as the boat takes 20 damage. And
No, the boat's hit points.
and
Yep.
yeah, and there is a rain of meat. So
My second
Ugna
favorite
and-
technical death metal band.
Ugna and Rain of Meat can be the first half of this
Good.
episode. Ugna and Morgan, you appear on deck, having thunderstepped back, and then just moments after you appear, you're just showered in blobs of, because it had just died from Ugna's
Oh God.
attack. So
Wow.
you literally just
Okay.
exploded the carcass.
Oh good.
Like
I
this
know
is
those sharks will
literally
be
the
nice
same
and
thing
fat.
with the
Good. Good.
yeah.
I
Well-fed
believe-
sharks.
I believe the technical term is a double tap.
Yes. Correct. Yeah.
Safety tap.
I
Like,
mean, like
Beautiful.
more than two,
So we like appear on deck in like a poof.
and then there's and you're like yay, and then the shower of like globs of meat, and you're like
No,
hooray,
okay.
we did it! Oh,
So you're like clutching Ugna as you teleported her away.
yeah.
And you can see she's still got like the battle madness that caused her to like leap off of the ship after this thing, even though that's not the smartest thing to do at all. And so she's still coming down from this like, and then like goblets of meat start falling around, and everything kind of like time slows.
Oh,
In
gross.
an anime, it would be petals, but it's Trash Heroes, so it's like meat chunks.
Mhm.
And I'd like all of you on deck to make a perception check. So that's Copernicus, Ugna, Morgan.
3. I am too busy staring into the beauty of Morgan's eyes.
That's a 9 for me.
Just save me.
Also, there's meat everywhere.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that too.
Could I appeal
Sorry, what
for
was-
another wild magic roll? See what's going on there?
Good.
Not for your thunderstep spell, no,
Oh, okay.
not this turn. I'm gonna roll the regular rolls because every time you cast a spell, I'm supposed to do this thing
Right.
that if you get in that one, but nope, not yet. Nothing
Wild
else.
magic.
Not as of yet. Sorry, what were the perception rolls, please?
3.
I think 11 was our high.
11 was my dice roll. Perception. Plus 6, so
17. So Morgan notices after you appear and like you're rain of meat and you're all horrified. You're like standing there like staring straight ahead, doing like a moment of horror, having been spattered with raw meat,
It's a bit of
and
a
not
Carrie
yet
moment.
not yet being able to do the prestidigitation. But like as you sort of focus your eyes, like you're staring just straight ahead, and then suddenly you realize you're staring at the helmsman, the dwarven helmsman who is no longer webbed, who was left in a webbing by Fetid, and has clearly at some point broken out of it, who is standing with a powder keg
Oh, good.
Uh-oh.
brought out of the hold, and a torch, and he's standing with the torch over the powder keg, and he's blinking like he doesn't know what's happening, and he's just kind of like standing frozen there
Oh, no.
in a moment, going,
Could you not? Could you not, bro?
Next
We got
up, it's
very
the
lucky.
Swahagan. So the dice have begun to balance themselves. I've rolled two nat 20s
Ooh,
on the Swahagan's attacks. I'm going to randomize who those are against again.
these guys.
Random crew, random crew. So
If
two
there's-
random crew members are snagged by grapples and shoom straight into the water.
Look, y'all don't have to eat our crew
but
anymore.
none of you
There's
guys.
tons of meat.
Yeah.
I was gonna say like this. Those sharks probably gonna be pretty.
Oh no, the
distracted.
shark frenzy is like extending to like the sharks are not leaving frenzy. And the Swahagan are all still raging. So like none of them are basically being deterred by the loss of their leader, the Aboleth, because they're too busy all in blood frenzy. However, there aren't a ton of them left. Next up is the crew, who are, I think, going to be... I'm going to roll for perception to see if any of the crew members notice the guy with the powder keg at the back of the ship. Oh, okay. Nope. Everyone's too busy.
Oh, great.
So they are instead continuing to like hurl spears and shoot black powder guns at the Swahagan that are attacking them, and pick off a couple more of them. Next up, it's Sir Godfrey. So Fetid, you have shouted out to Sir Godfrey where Tromlin is sleeping. Sir Godfrey has run to that cabin. It's not too far since it's all below deck. And Tromlin, remove curse has been used on you, and you take yourself awake.
What's going on?
And you're in a boat. You
Okay.
feel you're in a boat. So basically, you fell asleep in the legal chambers during this boring ass deposition, and you awaken in a hammock in a swaying cabin that's clearly out to sea. In fact, the boat is moving violently because it just got hit by this thunderous detonation in the water, and it hasn't settled down yet. And Sir Godfrey the Loxodon is standing over you, and you're like, this is very different. And you were dreaming of the Feywilds, and the Dryads, frankly.
Yeah. Well,
And instead of Dryads, you wake up and it's a Loxodon with his golden tusk bands and his big monocle and top hat.
not the first time.
Yeah.
Does he tell me what's going on, or just like wake up?
He says, let me explain. No, there is too much. Let me sum up. Thank you. Everyone got that reference. Yeah, so he says, the ship is under attack. Your friends need you. Healing is
Misty
needed.
step to the top of the ship.
Okay. You can't do that because you need to be able to see where you're going, but you can like move out to the ladders, to the ship's ladders, the ship stairs, and then look up through the hatch, and then Misty step like up, kind of slightly above the deck, and like do a tumble roll so that you don't
All right.
take falling damage.
I do that, and do I see anyone who within reach who needs healing?
So you see that the deck is covered in globs of meat. You see sails flapping free. You see a absolute pandemonium of crew members trying to like get sails under control, while the ship's captain on the forecastle is barking orders and nursing. He's got a arm. There's a bunch of grappling hooks on the side of the ship. In the middle of the deck, you see Morgan and Ugna. Ugna is standing there looking stunned and covered in meat and holding a spear in one hand and a sword in the other. And Morgan is wrapped around Ugna's midsection. And Copernicus is flying in the air up amongst the rigging.
May I shout something to Tromlin?
Well, you'll also hear Morgan shout, looking right at you or in your direction, can you not? Which will draw attention to the others on deck of the guy behind Tromlin, who's, the helmsman is still over in at the front of the cabin, basically with his powder keg.
Okay, I have a question. So do I know about the shark people on the side of the boat?
Well, you know something's down there. There's grappling hooks up on the something underwater is throwing grappling hooks up onto the deck, and there's ropes
Now-
going down.
Am I smart enough to know that if I threw a keg with a torch attached to it to the water, would it damage the boat or just
You
destroy
imagine
what-
it wouldn't go off. You imagine the water would probably put the fire out before it would have a chance of
Gotcha.
igniting the powder.
I'm going to cast create water over his torch.
Smart.
Nice.
Smart.
So you whirl around and see what Morgan is shouting at, or who Morgan's shouting at, and you see this dwarf with a powder keg and a torch over it, and you go, cast create water, and just douse him and the torch and the powder keg, and indeed the torch goes out.
Yeah.
Phew.
And he looks even more. He does like a what's happening?
All right, so that's my first good deed. But that's probably my whole turn, honestly, at that point. Like,
Yeah,
oh,
that's your movement and your bonus action.
And like take stock
yes.
Okay.
because there's a
But
shit
next
we
ton
will
going
not
on.
explode from
Good.
gunpowder.
Good.
Well, from that. You're
Yeah,
right.
from that.
Yet.
Ugna, you're next.
Gonna hug Morgan, like, thanks, buddy. And then set you down. I don't see anything to fight, so I
I
will.
mean, there are still grappling hooks from the side of the boat. Like there are
Right.
definitely people attacking the side of the boat.
Right.
Like a few steps to your left.
Yeah, I'll like take stock for a second and then grab my short sword, which is still covered in goo, and start
Still in your hand.
chopping at grappling hooks.
Okay.
Just cutting the
You
ropes
take
they
it.
can't climb
So
up.
it's a jump to the left.
And just a jump to the left.
All right. Okay, so you start hacking grappling hook ropes. Copernicus.
I would like to yell down to Tromlin. I know what it looks like, but the Aboleth started it. And then
I believe
I'll,
you.
try and I'll try and go and swipe some grappling hooks off of
Good.
the railing.
Your winks accompanying that, I believe you.
Okay. I think I am happy to leave combat time now. Sir Godfrey is going to start casting mending spells
Good.
down in the hold. And from Fetid and Sir Godfrey down below, you all hear the ship's leaking. Help.
I have mending as well, so I can go down and do the same thing.
I cast prestidigitation on myself a couple of times first, but on the way.
Like several times. It's like
Yeah,
washing your hands
I'm
over
like
and over.
I'm like running down there, like casting prestidigitation. I could probably move double speed, but I'm sorry.
No, that's fair.
Yeah.
Between Ugna and Kangar at the rails and Copernicus flying overhead, you can zap the handful of Schwahagen that are still attacking in their blood frenzy before the sharks just like the Aboleth bit chunks in the water and the dead Schwahagen and sharks that have been attacked by crew members and the dead crew members that were dragged in all becomes like far more of a feeding frenzy option than anything up here. And now that there's been enough time and crew members have been desperately working in the rigging, getting some sails under control, it doesn't take much to get the ship pulling away from the site of the blood frenzy. And since this is where all the blood is in the water, none of the sharks or Schwahagen that are left alive are coming out.
Hello? Hello?
Oh,
Nope.
I think
Yeah,
we
I
lost
think he's
Lane.
frozen.
Oh, I'm back. Hello.
Lane. I'm gonna shout at him.
That was
Lane,
me.
you're frozen.
Great.
Who's frozen?
Can I have
You.
some?
You were
Where?
frozen.
You're
You
back
just
now.
came
You're back.
now.
Okay.
Frozen
Were
for
you?
12 seconds.
Did you hear what I said, or did
No.
Did you not get sound either?
No.
Okay,
No
so
sound.
I will repeat myself. I don't remember where I cut off, but basically I was saying that the ship begins to move forward as all of the various the crew that have gotten up into the rigging and been working for the last several rounds to try and get sails under control, get enough wind being caught to have the boat start moving forward. And the Schwahagen are so distracted now and the sharks by like all of the meat in the water, the exploded Aboleth, the dead crew members, the dead sharks in Swahagan. That blood frenzy just stays where it is. Nobody's got the wherewithal to come after the ship at this point and continue attacking. They're all too busy frenzying in that area. So the ship begins moving away. I don't know if anybody has like a gust of wind.
Storm is still going, but I think it's not where anybody is, unfortunately.
Yeah, but in any case, there's enough. The rudder's still not there, not attached, so the ship isn't under control, but it can continue to drift forward under some wind power. While those of you with mending spells or just generally lending a hand, lots of the crew, when they hear the shouts about the boat sinking, head under below decks. Big hefty people like Kangar and Ugna can be employed to start
Haul on things,
nailing
move
planks.
stuff. Yeah.
And a rapid effort to try and save the ship ensues. Having all of the mending abilities, Sir Godfrey also has mending. So between
I have it.
If there's blood amongst the meat, I can blood
There's-
craft with a lot of.
there's lots of blood here. You can
Blood ship.
you can blood craft a bunch of sheets of weird blood material over leaking seams. It's quite disturbing. You basically make like meat chunks, like blood sucks out of it and then like crawls down along as you're like doing like a little Sorcerer's
Fantasia.
Apprentice thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fantasia, like Mickey, you're doing this, except it's like a stream of blood following you below decks, and then it like spreads and separates into the seams, like putting pitch in the seams.
This boat's gonna be so cursed.
It's already looking pretty cursed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's gonna
I
smell
will
great.
have some when the ship is not about to sink. I will do my best to collect as much meat that has laying around, and start preparing a meal for everybody.
Yeah. There's a point in the general rushing around where I like stop for half a second to clap you on your back and be like, "Good to see you, buddy. I got lots of stuff to do. Okay, bye," and then just keep going.
All right.
Oh man,
Yeah,
to
I was
like
having the best wet
use her
dream, and now I'm
mage
surrounded by this.
A wet dream about Dryad.
Oh,
Wet
no.
dream about dryads, and then you woke up to a wet environment.
Yes. A
Hey,
wet,
right here.
bloody, meat-filled environment.
Not in a fun way.
Morgan's
Nope.
gonna try and steal a moment or two to use Mage Hand to sift for trophyable parts of the Aboleth.
Oh, if I see anything worth having, if
Oh,
you
yeah.
want, I'll give it to you.
Yeah, there's not much recognizable, frankly.
Yeah.
Like there's some bits of tentacle that you're like, there's a piece of tentacle. There isn't much in the way of parts of an Aboleth, other than like
Teeth.
major parts like skull or teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
It's like one of
imagine
those
the head.
blobfishes that kind of like deflates when it comes up to the surface.
Yeah, you sort of you sort of exploded it in the middle. So I imagine the head end is at the bottom of the ocean, but various chunks are here and there. I'm sure you can find some pieces of Aboleth bone.
I will attempt to make
Aboleth
something
bone is what
serviceable.
Perny wanted to do.
That's what that item on the bucket list is.
1d20 to make something serviceable. That was a d6. That's not what I want.
Sorry, what do you do? Is this a cooking roll or what are you doing?
Cooking roll.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a D20.
Yeah. What's my? Is it +7?
Yeah, it's your wisdom bonus plus your proficiency bonus. So yeah,
Dirty
7.
20.
Nice.
Nice. So you find
if
some
we have any
chunks.
potatoes on board, I will also put the potatoes in the stew.
Chowder.
Oh, yeah.
Also to pull some of the
yeah.
salt out of the Aboleth.
Oh yeah, you can like absolutely. You find some like of the meatier portions. You find some tentacle. I'm gonna just arbitrarily say that an Aboleth is a mollusk.
Okay.
It's
I
kind of-
make a workable ship stew that has potatoes in it and chunks and
Nice.
like, it is basically a chowder. Yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
You absolutely make an Aboleth chowder. You make a delightful Aboleth chowder.
I figure
So
like the
hearty,
men
so
and women of the ship work so hard; they deserve to eat what they vanquished.
So they actually have goats on board for milk, so you can
Ooh.
actually get yourself some make a goat milk Aboleth chowder.
All right,
Excellent.
like, eat that which would have eaten you, my friends.
This tastes fabulous.
Mhm.
Hooray! Okay, so
Aboleth's
yeah,
really delicious.
I will use the rest of my spells for the day to heal people.
yeah. I was gonna say, so between
Ow.
Timothy and Tomothy took quite a bit of damage. They took
Yeah.
3d6 damage for like 4 rounds.
They're just little guys.
Yeah, and they don't have a ton of hit points, so they were quite in dire straits.
I'll be guidancing as well.
Yeah, and Sir Godfrey has a number of heal spells, and Fetid could do a few more as well.
Yep.
I just assume I'm going to give up all my spells to heal people. That's like
The captain took a pretty nasty wound. Kangar's taken a few. Ugna's down quite a lot.
I've got
Ugna's
13,
my priority.
I've
Sorry,
got
everybody.
13 hit points left. I'm good. I'm still good.
Fine.
So between Sir Godfrey, Fetid, and Tromlin, you heal up a lot of the crew. With all of that mending, eventually the rudder is reshipped and attached to all the ropes, and enough sails are put up. The sabotage turns out, other than the chopping in the hold, turns out to be not particularly severe because there was only a few rounds of sabotage. So mostly they just have to reattach sails. They basically just have to splice a bunch of ropes. Is all they really have to do. So once there's no imminent danger of being pulled into a sharky doom, things are able to be put back together pretty fast. There's a number of crew and pit fighters that are gone, probably down maybe 10 to a dozen in total. But there was more than sufficient crew to run the ship, and even though you're down a few more because of the ones that were sent away with the dwarven smuggler, but with the addition of the pit fighters having to pitch in, and Sir Godfrey will immediately get his unseen servants put to work. Sir Godfrey has a ring of unseen servants with 3 of them, and he'll put them at the disposal of the captain. And you manage to get back underway. So I'm sure Tromlin wants to know what the hell's going on.
Hey, everybody, where are we going?
I don't know, but this is delicious.
I'm glad. As I'm like bandaging Ugna's arm.
Yep.
And I'm eating with the other arm.
I imagine there have been times in our lives where I have had to feed you because you're so banged up.
Seems likely.
So
Probably more than once.
Probably.
I believe we are on the way to Ravenfall to attempt to see if we can persuade the Countess Nightshade to lend her political and other kinds of strength to the cause of defeating the Necrogog, as we make our allies please help us, a terrible threat is coming tour of the north. If I remember correctly, that's what we're doing.
I think so.
Yep.
The Aboleth fight was very used all of Perny's attention, so I think I got it.
Tromlin's eyes grow wide. Oh, we're going back to see my family.
How delightful.
Hopefully
Rick is a
not.
bullet.
No,
Ravenfall,
he
right?
seems excited.
Mhm.
he says it like this.
Okay,
You see every tooth in his mouth.
good.
And all of the whites all around the eyes.
Mm-hmm.
We're also organizing a big fight for money, fame, and also to gather forces against BBE.
Okay.
And I think we should utilize it as also a fundraising for the funeral services for the men that we lost in the crew.
I think that's a phenomenal idea. I
Mhm.
think their families deserve something for what happened. I will motion to my fellow satyrs. Like, can I speak to you alone for a minute?
Yeah.
Before we get into that
Um,
scene, because that's going to
yeah.
be interesting, I would like to ask the players to just step away briefly from the chat because I'm going to launch the poll.
Ooh.
I'll leave that time.
Okay.
Got out.
And
And I just want to note
Where'd
the
my-
restraint. It
where'd
took
my
Perny
poll go?
not to say that. Don't think of it as having lost some crew, as having gained an undead army. The restraint it took him not to say that was extraordinary.
We're all
Oh.
very
As they
impressed.
just throw you off the ship.
Once
Like, I
again,
can fly!
Tromlin saps his grandfather as he hears. Don't think of it as losing a crew. Think of it as sap.
okay, hang on a second. My poll disappeared, even though I thought I had launched it. So I'm going to try that again. Just take me a second. Unfortunately, I am currently without my shadow DM. So I just have to do this myself.
Dark Ages.
Yep, like some kind of schmuck.
In the official records, it won't say that Tromlin sapped Perny. It'll say that he initiated an unscheduled disassembly of Perny's plans.
Yes.
Yes.
I gave him his nightly medicine to help him.
Okay, what the hell? It says the poll is already active.
Grandpa.
Chatters, can you see the poll? Because I can't.
I do see a poll just before
Okay.
I close the tab, so I don't actually see what the poll is, but I did see a thing.
Also, I made this glorious flower crown while
It's
we were in
so
battle.
cute.
It's so
All right.
Huge.
The poll apparently
looks
is
so
running,
good.
so I can't see it. So hopefully, I'll get Kaitu to let me know what wins the poll when it's finished. I don't know. I'm not sure why I can't see it, considering I launched it. You'd think maybe it'll just pop up and tell me who won when it's over. In any case, I'll remind the audience that you can use channel points to vote extra times in the poll. Please do feel free to vote often. We'd love to see which of these options you are most excited to have happen. And I cannot see. It's annoying. I like to be able to watch the poll as it goes. The poll will run for 10 minutes, although it's
Are you
already
going to
been
be able to see the
probably a minute.
result?
Kaitu is going to let me know the
Okay, good.
result when it finishes. I do not know why I can't see it.
If you don't believe, clap
Actually,
your
I'm
hands.
going to refresh. I'm going to refresh and see what happens.
I'm glad that Peter got that theater reference.
Yay! I don't have enough pixie dust or something.
Oh, now I have to modify my picture.
For pixie dust?
Oh,
There
no,
we go. Now I can see it. I can see it now. Hooray!
Hey.
Thank goodness for refresh. Oh, some other people don't seeing it either. Some people are, some people aren't.
Still a little glitchy today.
Yep, we got some glitchiness
Something's
here.
weird.
I have to start DMing votes. No, don't do that. Don't do that.
Nope. Just refresh as necessary. Okay, let's keep them votes a coming. And I will let you guys pick up. So Tromlin had just said, could
go
he
have a
speak to you
sneaky chat.
privately? Was that
Oh,
just
sure.
Morgan you said that to, or was that
Just
the-
Morgan.
All
Okay.
right.
Actually, no. I would actually probably try to get the others. And like, I would probably try to get Grandpa and Fetid as well. Like, try to do it surreptitiously, so it's not obvious to Ugna I'm excluding her from this.
Oh,
Good,
Interesting.
good. I am oblivious, because it's me.
And
I'm
I just
chatting.
gave you a lot of food.
Yeah, I'm chatting with the other pit fighters. We're talking about, the guys we lost,
Yep.
what we're gonna do in town to honor them. Mostly drink.
Eating
Yeah.
lots of that lovely
Ooh. Don't tell Ugna.
Aboleth chowder.
I will lead the others below deck.
Okay.
We get down below deck. I turn to Morgan. What did they tell you about our last time there?
I believe the information I was given involved the unseating of someone. It's like some big fight. I don't really follow fights too much. It's not.
There
really
was
my
a
bag, but I
major
heard about it.
fight between two. Like, Ugna was not part of it. In fact, her being there made a lot of people assume something was going on. It turned out the fight was rigged. That some of the platforms were mimics, and they were rigged against the dwarven fighter. Now, the other fighter, out of character, I can't remember her name.
Basilisk.
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 Yes.
Basilisk. Ugna has a crush on Basilisk, and I think she
Cute.
lets that blind herself to some things. Basilisk was also acting a little shady, like she might have known the fight was rigged.
Okay.
I have great concerns about this Basilisk. I could be wrong. I want to be wrong. But
Okay.
if we're doing any type of tournament, and Basilisk is involved, we need to be watchful of her. And we definitely need to be watchful of her around Ugna. Because Ugna wants to believe the best in her because she has a crush.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like talking with Ugna not here, but I'm protective of her. And moreover, if I'm right and Basilisk was in on that shady deal, she would do it to Ugna or to someone else. And that mimic could have killed the other fighter.
Okay. All right.
So I just think we need to be all mindful of this.
What's this basilisk's name?
Basilisk, that's her name. She's not an actual basilisk.
Oh,
She's
okay.
a halfling?
Yeah, she's a halfling.
Okay, that's some useful information.
She's a
Just,
halfling.
Tiefling.
She's a tiefling.
Oh, tiefling. Sorry.
She's a halfling-sized tiefling,
Yes.
Okay.
or infernal-blooded halfling.
Yeah.
I love that you were just like, Ugna's in love with a basilisk, of
Basilisk.
course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
No,
it's
of course.
Yeah.
Listen, this is not the first reference to monster fucking that this episode has
No.
had.
Nor is it likely to be the last.
No.
But Trauma will turn to Copernicus and Fetid. I don't know if you two saw what I saw. She definitely, when everything got called out in the end, Basilisk definitely acted kind of shifty.
No, I feel like she definitely knew something was up. I don't know. I couldn't tell you to the extent that she was involved or aware of it, but I definitely saw some of what you saw.
Yeah. I just don't know if I trust someone who would willingly put another person's in life beyond the normal part of a fight
Yeah.
around Ugna, who is so loving and trusting and wants to believe that people she cares about are good.
Yeah, we'll just have to keep an eye on things.
Okay. I just want to make sure we're all on the same page.
No,
And
I agree with you.
I don't think we've told Morgan yet to be heads up for anyone from the House of Boltree. They have our descriptions and they have our number, and we also have theirs. So just we tread lightly around them, and if we do see them, we make sure that we're organized in case it comes to blows.
Unless I
Last
can get
minute
into their
of
house
the
at night and have
poll.
some fun. I imagine security's a lot tighter this time around.
Mm.
I'll make sure of it.
Last chance to vote, folks.
I feel like we're the ones telling you about all our enemies that now you have as enemies. Do you have any enemies that we can keep an eye out for, just so that this is a little more give and take?
I'm really not that kind of bitch. I don't mean to.
Don't worry, around us you'll eventually make one.
Yep. It's bound to
I
happen
mean-
sooner or later.
Hopefully you don't.
But let's be real.
don't like the government.
Oh, well,
Most
we're
of our
about to do
enemies
Oh,
are-
hey, welcome to the
Most of our
club.
enemies are the government.
I want to murder the mayor.
I don't
I-
trust them. That's like a big one, I guess.
You are right not to
government.
trust lords. Lords will
Mhm.
leave their children to die on the side of the road.
I mean, A-Lab, right?
Mhm.
Yes, all
Yep.
lords are bastards.
Um,
Although, wait, out of character, technically, if something happens to my dad and I'm around, am I the inheritor of the throne?
Well, that's the question, and that's the reason why your siblings are particularly unhappy about your existence.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of depends. Okay, there
Can
we
I-
go.
Could I roll some sort of socializer history to see if I have any dirt on the people that were named?
The Boltries?
The Boltries and the
The poll has
Basilisk.
ended.
Ooh.
Yes.
There's some
so-
recent dirt on them. We helped
Oh,
make
yeah.
some recent dirt.
I'm sure
Yes.
your
I mean-
cult would have heard of it.
I mean, yeah. I
Mhm.
mean, aside from the dirt, I will procure amongst y'all if I have my own secret dirt.
Oops. Yeah, so first of all, you absolutely do know of Basilisk.
Mhm.
So pit fighting is a big deal in the north. There's a little bit less. It's a little bit less common elsewhere. Duimerdel, for example, doesn't really have like a main fighting pit with like a local champion. It has a couple of smaller ones. But through most of the north, every small town kind of has its own fighting pit and local champion. And like, it's like, the WWE is popular in the United States, and it's actually a better example is how popular professional wrestling has been in Canada, disproportionately so, right?
Boo hearts.
Yep.
As compared, say, to like Stampede Wrestling and all that, as compared to say in Europe.
Although
Um,
in England, it was very
yes.
popular. It was just when it wasn't the BBC. It was one of the channels that had taken over. They killed wrestling because the new head hated it. I
Yeah.
hate that I fucking know that. I hate
They
that I know
also
that.
they also though it wasn't big in the sense that they had their own leagues, right?
They had
to
a
the
couple
same extent.
small
They did.
companies. They had some small feds in the UK. The one that everyone remembers from the 80s, like the big wrestler, was a guy by the name Big Daddy, and
Yep.
he's kind of mocked in retrospect because he basically ran the company, but only put himself over. I'm sure someone from England will correct me about that and whatever, but still.
So basically, Ravenfall has a stadium that is like a huge fighting arena. That's a little different than a lot of pits because instead of sort of being like a below the ground sunken pit, it's actually kind of above ground. It's a number of these giant poles with platforms and rope ladders and other sorts of acrobatic spaces. And as a result, the champion of Ravenfall has come to be a very different sort of wrestling champion. It's not like the big Loxodon or the big Orc or the big Hill Giants like it is in a lot of other places. Instead, it's this small tiefling named Basilisk who is just insanely fast and acrobatic. And the arena in Ravenfall is known as the Eyrie. So you're familiar with Basilisk. You may not personally be a huge fan. That's up to you. Of the sport. Certainly, though, whenever there's a big event, you would hear about it. So you've probably, I think I said this before too to you when we were talking character stuff. You've probably heard of the big fight that happened because everyone in Ravenfall heard about it. When the Dwarven champion from the Iron Peak Mountains, whose name was Dwayne. Yes, Dwayne the Rock Thunderfist. Dwayne Thunderfist fought Basilisk, and it was the first time in a long time that the Dwarven champion has fought outside of the Dwarven city. Usually the Dwarven champion is such a sort of high level competitor that people come to the dwarves. And so it was a really big deal that the dwarves had made this pilgrimage and brought their champion to Ravenfall to fight. And then it turned out that there was a cheating scandal. The local, or one of the local lords, who is the consort of the Countess Nightshade, was implicated in the scandal, although there has been vociferous denial since then that he was involved, and others have been blamed. The cheating involved, as Trauman has just told you, a number of mimics being brought in to replace parts of the Eyrie. So parts of the rope ladders and platforms turned out to be mimics that attacked Dwayne Thunderfist during the fight.
Yes, specifically just Dwayne.
Yeah.
Oh.
So clearly there was some bets, some money on certain parties.
Mm-hmm.
So the Baron Gregory Langarian is the consort of of Countess Nightshade, and he was the one who was implicated in setting this up because he had various bets through his people on the fight. But he effectively nullified all of his bets after this came to light, and staunchly led an investigation
Into himself.
had pinned the blame on various organizers.
What are the chances he cleared himself of all wrongdoing?
He's really
Turns
good
out
at
that
this.
in fact happened.
Yep.
What are the chances?
Mhm.
So
100%.
Morgan, yeah. So Morgan, you're aware of all that.
Okay.
As Trauman tells you this, you're like, oh, okay, I heard about that. You didn't hear, because you didn't actually necessarily go and watch the match.
Mhm.
So you didn't hear, you vaguely heard that there was some other well-known pit fighter, an orc, had run onto the field, rushed in with a folding chair and attacked the mimics, and basically came to the assistance. And then at the end, Dwayne and this orc and Basilisk all joined forces against the mimics and defeated them, and the crowd went wild and was very pleased.
I think there was
But-
also a swarm-sized bee that
Yes.
was released or something.
Yeah,
I
there
think
was some kind of
one
infestation of
large
bees up in
bee.
the stands. Yeah.
Uh-huh. I definitely had nothing to do with that.
It was Big B's Big B.
Yep.
Love
So
it.
yeah,
So yeah,
I
and
just
it
felt like
suddenly
Morgan
occurs to you
needed
that
to know
it was
this.
Nice.
So
Okay,
we're
cool.
all on the same page. We can't baby Ugna. Sometimes she's gonna get her heart hurt, but and
She's too
hopefully
big
I'm
to fit in the
wrong.
papoose.
Huh?
And she's too big to fit in the papoose.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But I would also like a history roll for Morgan,
Ooh.
Hell yeah.
which is not your strong suit.
No.
But let's
Guidance
see what you
myself?
know about. Yeah, let's see what you know about these. Yes, you can do a guidance now. Did you four? We'll see what you know about these boltries that have just been mentioned.
Haha. They're dicks.
It's only an 8+.
8. Does that include your
Nothing.
D4?
Yeah.
Ah.
I
Okay,
rolled a
so
6.
You vaguely heard the name. It's one of the noble houses of the north. You don't know much about them. You just you know that you've heard various names of noble houses in the north, and that's one of the ones you've heard. Beyond that,
Alright. Fair.
A lab.
A lab.
So I will let you carry on with your roleplay.
Do you have any questions before we go back up and check on Ugna?
I'm good for now.
Oh, and Grandpa used to fuck the lady of the city. All right, let's go.
I think no one.
It's a
And
hell of a
Grandma
thing
is
to
still
drop.
very salty about it.
Mm.
So that might be a little shocking, given what you know of the Lady Nightshade, the Countess Nightshade,
Terrifying otherworldly
the
woman.
terrifying ancient fairy queen that runs Ravenfall.
Be wary of crossover then. Don't want anyone's feelings getting hurt.
Yeah.
Honestly, that might seriously increase your respect for Copernicus.
It does, for sure.
Like,
for sure.
Yeah, I mean-
that's quite the coup.
It now puts trauma in a like. Do I really want to go after where my grandfather's been? Probably don't care.
Okay. All right, so you guys head back up on deck.
All right.
So by now the ship is back in ship shape. Actually, it was always ship shape. It's fine.
Mhm.
But basically the rest of the day, you put some distance between you and that area, in case there are more Aboleths, or in case the Swahagan decide to come looking for you again. And this gives you all the opportunity for a long rest.
Hey, love those.
Yep.
And the rest of the day and a night pass without any significant events.
Wait,
But,
I just noticed something. I looked it up. So I had that pouch of endless spices, correct?
Oh yes.
I did not for some reason it just hit me. Sugar's a spice.
Yeah. Well, sort of.
It's classified
Fine
as
by
one.
me.
I
Fine
can
by
make
me.
desserts if we have like
Yes.
milk.
Ooh.
We have sugar.
Oh,
I
yeah.
can make.
Ooh.
I can make like
Candy.
a sweet bread with the goat milk.
Well, you can even, since it's a ship and we're talking like age of sail, there is plenty of cartilage-like structure on that Aboleth
Jello, Aboleth,
you could
Jello.
you could boil down to make a suet pudding.
Nice.
Yeah. If we have any fruit, I can actually make a gelatin.
Yep.
Are you palm-colored people making blood pudding?
I could make a real blood pudding.
Do you know what the famous suet pudding names are?
But
The two main ones: the drowned
Drowned
baby
baby?
and
Lovely.
the spotted dick.
Yep.
I knew
the
that.
spotted dick I knew about. All right, I'm gonna roll to make a dessert.
The drowned baby is basically the spotted dick without the raisins, without spots. So it's like you wrap up a little bundle and then you boil it.
You
Wonderful.
wrap up a bundle of like sugar and suet and boil it until it sets in a vaguely oval shaped. And the thing is,
Loaf.
you swaddle it, right? You wrap
Yeah.
it in like
Yeah.
muslin and linen and whatever.
What is
and you
Oh.
boil
wrong
it.
with Britain?
I know.
I rolled a 17. I'm just trying to make some type of dessert to help pick up spirits because I'm sure the men are just miserable.
For sure.
Oh, sorry.
Excellent.
Yeah, you come back out onto deck and Ugna and the other pit fighters are like a couple cups deep already and like giving tributes to the fallen.
Let me put
Oh, I assume they're lost at sea. Like we don't have the bodies, do we?
Probably not.
No, not the ones that were actually dragged into the shark.
Yeah.
Ceremony doesn't cover like without the body, does it?
I would
it
argue
wouldn't
for
work to do any
role-playing.
protection on the bodies, but it's certainly
Yeah.
worth it for the role playing, yeah, and for like the crew.
I would probably do a ceremony, like just as like a burial at sea to the lost.
Yeah.
Something to make
Sure.
sure their spirits know that they're not forgotten.
I believe that has like an actual in-game effect.
Yep. Ceremony is actually a really cool spell. It's very good for roleplay.
Oh yeah, funeral rite basically keeps the corpse from becoming undead, but like I would see this as being potentially able to like increase morale.
That's my thing is like letting the men
Yep.
know that like if something like we were not going to forget your friends. They didn't die for nothing. That they mattered. You also matter in the situation, and we're going to do our best to do right by them.
Yeah, the captain gives you that book that like with that whole weird thing about committing the body to the deep
Mm-hmm.
to be turned into
Sure.
corruption
Rise again at the end of
until
days.
the sea shall give up her dead, which
Yep.
is the real creepy.
Well,
In a
I
fantasy
should
world,
probably
that's
who my
kinda
god
like-
is for the day, shouldn't I? Hold on.
Yeah, let's figure out who you're worshiping.
Oh
Since you
no,
woke
it's
up.
the
'Cause
god
that's
of
gonna really affect
drowning.
who,
Mm-hmm.
how, like, the
Yeah.
flavor. 7?
Just give me a second. I gotta pull up the.
It's safe to go back in the chat, right?
Yep, it's now safe to
Hold
go
it
back
over
to
for
the chat.
ages.
I
Andy's
had
god list.
been waiting to post another Morgan art piece because there's a secondary picture coming.
Oh, perfect.
Ooh.
But I post
again?
that battle
I'm sorry,
repainted it.
I was just letting
I should-
letting Raven finish.
It's in the Discord.
Sweet, I'll grab it and post it after break for everybody to look at because
Yay,
it's
more
awesome.
And it is in fact the god Meni, 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 which is the Felician god of luck.
Oh,
Well,
That
very
might
appropriate
drive
being on a
terrible.
Felician ship.
that's fucking
with a
amazing,
Felician
Raven.
crew.
Nice.
Yes, the Felician Empire, of course, a merchant empire of the south, mostly consisting of Loxodons and Turtles. Meni is the god of both good and bad luck, associated with great riches, and his symbol is a sun and a crescent moon superimposed.
Okay. So yeah.
So pretty
I
perfect.
I do the ritual. I make sure everyone is present. You know, because I think everyone should be present for this.
Mhm.
Bernie
And
resists
Meni is
the
a
urge.
Loxodon god, also.
Bernie
Nice.
resists the urge to say funeral rites are nice, but have you ever considered funeral wrongs?
What about funerals?
Oh my god.
Can I get you, Alina, to put up a map for me before we go to break?
Yeah, which one?
The regular Northlands of Karsh map.
Cool.
The original map.
OG.
EOG.
The OG map.
Here
Jinx,
we
you want
go.
Coke?
Boom.
Okay. So the ship had been around the point directly north of the Dragon's Isle, the volcano.
After
When
having
you
left
encountered-
the firth,
Yeah, when you
the
encountered the
firth of
Aboleth.
Cullen.
The Firth of what? Of
The
Colin?
firth of Cullen.
Nice. Okay, yep. That's canon now.
Yep.
God.
Colin's Firth. Why did that sound dirty? And from there, rounding the horn, the ship is going more or less due north towards the islands of Aldercove on the way to Ravenfall. And so you get a night of rest, and the day dawns within visual sight of those islands, passing them firmly on the left in order to avoid the shoals that are near those islands. But also can be seen from the ship in addition to the islands. And in fact, you'll all kind of waken to calls of like land ho, but also ship ho. And
That's
when
a
you come on
rude thing to
decks,
call Tromlin.
You know, I've been called worse.
and when you scurry up on deck expectantly, having been summoned,
About time!
you're like, oh,
Ow.
they just
Boo.
saw a ship over there.
I haven't
there are
fucked
in-
anyone since I had a coma.
I know.
There is, in fact, a number of small ships and boats out towards the islands. And the captain is like looking at them through his seeing glass, and being asked by his new helmsman, because they don't trust the old one quite yet, despite everyone's assurances that he was being mind controlled by the Aboleth.
Oh, because of the keg of powder?
Well, and also because he's the one who like healed the ship over and cut the
Oh, yeah.
rudder ropes.
Okay,
Yeah.
you know, that's fair. I
That's
mean,
fair.
it sucks for him. I feel bad for him, but I get morale matters.
Gotta be careful.
I'm sure your intercession and explanations kept them from like full on stringing him up. Yeah, making him walk the plank or whatever.
Heel haul.
Yep.
Mhm.
That's a fun way to go.
Oh yeah, it's like being cheese grated,
Mm-hmm.
underwater cheese grating to death.
No.
At 20 miles an hour.
No.
Yep. And as you come up, the captain is muttering about whether there's any trouble here. He says, looks like simple fishermen. Is it worth getting news? I sort of turn to you guys as you're coming up there with Sir Godfrey.
What's the distance?
Why do you seem concerned?
Well, we've just had a rather nasty encounter with creatures of the sea.
Why don't I summon an animal critter to go do a little bit of reconnaissance before we make that decision?
That's a great idea.
Great idea.
Sure.
So, some sort of seagull, you know.
Oh yeah, there's plenty of seabirds around here. In fact, since you're kind of hugging shorelines, there are always birds around the ship because they basically peck away at whatever's in the water.
I imagine
Fish
we
tend
also
to follow
haven't
the
got
ships.
all of the meat off of the ship. So...
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's
Oh god,
seagulls
imagine
like
the smell by
pecking-
now. Oh.
pecking aboleth meat out of various crevices. Yeah, you quickly grab a seabird and cast a spell on it and send it on its way. You fly over. As you're flying over, you can see that two of the ships, the largest ones, which are still very small, like basically single-masted schooners. Most of these boats are just boats. They're like rowboats, or a rowboat with like a single spar that's set up as a mast with a little single scrap of sail. But two of them are larger little schooners, little single-masted schooners with triangle sails. And those two are coming about and sort of facing towards the Loxodon ship and heading that way. As you fly by with your seabird, you can, of course, use the beast senses to see what's going on and listen in. And you see a bunch of various creatures, various D&D type races, a lot of halflings, a handful of goblins, a number of humans. A few of them have variations of bluish skin of the elemental blooded sea folk, or greenish skin of being mixed with orc, or the other tints that one associates with things like tieflings and Aasimar and whatever. Just a general mix of folks, but all of them have extreme weather gear. They've all got like heavy like ponchos and oilskins, and most of them are wearing big wide hats with the fronts folded up. And they've got various nets full of fish, and the bigger ships have rods. They're fishing a little deeper out, and you're pretty sure these are all fishermen. And you can hear from the chatter on the boats that are turning towards the Loxodon ship that they're excited to potentially trade, because they have recognized that as a Loxodon ship, an Alphaletian ship, which means stuff is for sale.
Okay, so it sounds like things are mostly on the up and up. I think we're okay.
Are any of
You
them
hear a
cute?
lot of weird. Sorry, go ahead.
Are any of them cute?
Fetid
Well,
is
you're
probably
asking a
not
seagull,
capable.
and you're asking a seagull and a kobold, so I'm not
None
sure.
of them
I'm
are
the right
shaped
one
like
to-
French fries. I have no interest in any.
Yeah.
No, but they
Character, I'm
are.
aware of who I'm asking.
They do.
I'm
they
looking
do
for the
all
answer
smell
that
of,
they give.
They do all smell of fish guts. So yes, is the answer. You do, however, hear a lot of like incomprehensible chatter, and you're not sure what language they're speaking.
Okay.
There's several people, saying things like, by the by, haul away.
Sounds like sailor talk to me,
Where are you to, by?
but I don't know what that
Jesus,
means.
You're just like, this
Um,
isn't common at all.
Something poop deck?
Yeah.
And
Make-
as you
every-
fly back to report in, we'll go ahead and take our break.
Cool.
I think that's a good time.
All right. We will see you all in 10 minutes or so. 15, something like that.
10 minutes is good.
Cool.
All right.
10
All
after.
right. See y'all in a bit.
Bye.
Ian,
Okay.
And